Well, we hope the ball game will go along at the present pace, but if it is too elongated, remember that over the station at which you are listening, CBS will bring you on the cavalcade of sports the Preakness at 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We'll be clear for that. All right, let's see about the ball game now as we move into the third inning. Ball game roughly a half an hour old. Going along, good time, good shape. First of a doubleheader. Pete Castellone is the initiating hitter, the third inning. He hit the high fly ball under which left fielder Hermansky and center fielder Snyder collided in the first inning, and it was automatically scored a base hit. Castellone hitting 184, ducks underneath the high curveball, ball one. At the end of 4 innings, the Phillies are leading the Cubs 2-1. Simmons and Rush, the opposing pitchers, each going for his 5th victory. Sounds like a good game, doesn't it? Castellone, slender right-hand batter, swings a high pop fly. It's foul up toward first base. Let's see catcher Campanella going down and makes the grab close to the stands. Hodges, realizing that Campanella had the ball under control, got out of the way. When the ball was caught, it was closer to first base than it was to the plate, but Campanella had taken dead aim and was asserting himself. It is 3-0 in favor of the Giants, first of a doubleheader at the Polo Grounds over Cincinnati at the end of 4.5 innings. The Braves lead the Cardinals 1-0 end of 2 innings. The Yankees are starting Sanford against Hafner at Chicago. Tom Saffel, left-hand hitting center fielder, swings on the first pitch, fouled it off. At the end of the first inning, single game, the Red Sox and the Indians, it is 2-0 in favor of Cleveland. Bob Lemon, who is some pumpkins, is a pitcher as well as a hitter, is going for Cleveland. Stobbs for the Red Sox. That's the Post scoreboard. They're up to date on everything. Outfield toward right on Saffel, who pulls him. Hitting 173. Hit a high fly ball to center fielder Snyder in the first inning. Right-hander Bankhead deals, and there's a bunt attempt to the curve and missed. Strike 2. Bunting for a base hit, of course. No balls, 2 strikes. Bankhead deals, fastball just under the knees, low. 1-2. Saffel choking that stick slightly. Lean right-hander, delivers, curve into the dirt. Bounces through. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see. 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 military planes in a very tight formation buzzing up ahead here. There's a lot of air traffic above the ballpark here at Brooklyn. Connie and the old redhead have been sitting here watching it for years. Of course, Desmond's an authority. He can tell you what a plane is just from looking at it one eye. Saffel hits a high pop fly. Let's see. Second baseman Robinson coming on and makes the catch. The ball was up so high that Robinson and Hodges had time to play odd man to see who'd catch it. Put out for the second baseman. 2-0 favor the Pirates. Ralph Kiner stepping in. He's the 3rd highest paid player in the game this year. I don't know. He may be the all-time highest paid player in the history of the National League. I expect he is. He's topped today, of course, by Ted Williams, who gets the most, and then DiMaggio. Throw, swung on, a line drive into left center field for a base hit. So Kiner singles and is aboard. 2 gone, single into left. Hit number 4 for the Pittsburghers. Nanny Fernandez, right end hitting third baseman. Fernandez hitting 255. Infield up a step. Bankhead deals. Curve swung on. A high pop fly in a short right field. Robinson, second baseman, out. Under it. Got it. No runs, one hit. 2-0. Favor the Pirates. And now, Mr. Desmond, we haven't heard that baritone of yours, son. Where you been hiding it, huh?
Oh, I've been around here someplace, looking at television.
All right, now that you're here with us, what's new in the post-cereal lineup?
Sugar Crisp bread, new and terrific. It's a honey of a cereal, friends, because Sugar Crisp has everything. Now, just imagine a sugar and honey coating on wholesome puffed wheat. Man, that's Sugar Crisp. For breakfast, it's sensational. Just try a tempting bowlful with milk or cream. Remember, you don't need sugar, because it's already just sweet enough. It's perfect for between-meal snacks, too. And for an enjoyment anytime, anywhere, eat it right out of the bag. Yes, sir, as a cereal, it's dandy. For snacks, it's so handy. Or eat it like candy. Post Sugar Crisp. Look for it at your grocer's in the big cellophane bag with 3 little bears on the outside. You can't miss it. That's it, Red.
What were you talking about, Connie?
That Sugar Crisp, you mean?
Hey, Desmond, are you nervous?
Yeah.
You know that we're on MGM, as we always are in New York. You're on CBS, and also you're on Armed Forces. Be careful. Somebody's going to hear you. Last of the third inning. 2-0 Pittsburgh, and Roy Campanella up. Mel Queen pitches. High inside. Ball 1. Campanella followed by Bankhead, who, by the way, is a good hitting pitcher, and then by Reese. Queen deals, fastball over for a called strike. Got that one off the hand. 1-1. Outfield round toward left. Right-hander's pitch swung on, foul back. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. First man up, last of the third. The infield's back on Roy for 2 reasons. He hits that ball hard, and secondly, he's not too swift in getting down to first. Swings on a curve and hits it foul on top of the stands, back of right field and out of the park. For those of you who haven't seen Ebbets Field, it's a double-decked stadium, and the double-decking begins at right field's corner. In other words, there is no stand in back of right field. That's the famous fence, a wall, the right field wall. But the stands go all the way around in a rough U. Campanella fouls us in back. As you begin your stands at left center field, and you come right around in back of, at right center field, you come right back around behind center, double deck back of left field, all the way back of home plate, out back of first base, and all the way down to the wall. At the end, in back of right field, is Bedford Avenue. Curveball outside, ball 2. That's one of the big thoroughfares. It's about a 6-lane street in Brooklyn. But that's a 40-foot high right field wall. If you want to be exact, 39.5 feet. 19.5 feet of concrete and then 20 feet of wire panels. Pitch low outside, ball 3. See, Al Schacht is sitting down there back of the Brooklyn bench, taking in today's ball game. Three balls, 2 strikes. Campanella takes ball 4 and Queen walks it. That pitch is close to the knees. First baseman balls have had. Roy goes over to first base. The tying run comes up. Nobody in the stands seems to be at all concerned that Pittsburgh is ahead 2-0. The last game played at Brooklyn was 2 afternoons ago, when the Cardinals were out in front 8-0, and the Dodgers got 4 runs in the 8th inning and 5 in the 9th. Oh, that was a wild one. Ooh, that was really full of fleas. That was a doozy. It's talking about that one, and they will for a long time. And for you folks listening in, my advice to you is don't go ask the Cardinals about it. Dan Bankhead up there, 2 hit. As a batter, he's 1 for 8. He's a good hitting pitcher. Fine athlete. Swings on the curve, doesn't get it. Nothing in 1. A couple of years ago, Branch Rickey had the idea that Bankhead was such a good hitter, they might turn him into an outfielder. And Dan plays pretty good outfield, but they feel that his major league potential lies in his pitching. Infield double play depth. Dan swings, trickles the ball foul outside third base, and his bat spun out of his fingers and went halfway to third. Every time I see somebody overswing on a ball and have the bat rip out of their fingers and go down toward third base, I think of Pepper Martin. That used to happen to Pepper all the time. You know, Pepper, in his hitting, was always gripping the bat. In other words, he tried to get a double hand squeeze on the handle of the bat just as he hit the ball. So if he was off timing, of course, the bat would get away from him. Bankhead swings and misses on the curve. Strike 3, so down he goes. That's the second strikeout for Queen. Mel Queen is the hurler for Pittsburgh. 2-0. They were the Buccaneers. The Dodgers battling to try and pass the Flying Phillies. Philadelphia in first place, a half a game ahead of Brooklyn. It's quite a ball club. That's a very fine job that young Bob Carpenter's done down in Philadelphia. Reached up, fastball inside, low inside. Pee Wee, right-hand hitter. Batting at .235. It's a little bit under his gait. Outfield toward left. Curve is good. Call strike. Like to repeat again, this is early in the day. Third inning of the first of 2 games. The lights will be turned on to complete the second one if necessary. And there are thousands and thousands of seats still available. Pitch high inside to reach the ball, too. So you folks in the neighborhood, just come right on over. I'd say there must be 8,000 to 10,000 seats available right now. Plenty of them. Come on, be no rush. Queen misses high inside, ball 3. So, walking Campanella, striking out Bankhead. He's now behind 3-1 on Pee Wee. Priest casts an inquisitive glance down at third base coach Milton Stock, who's the central man in the wigwag system. Manager Shotton, of course, gives the orders. Stocky usually relays them to the players. 3-1 pitch is ball 4, high, inside. That walks the tying run to first. Runners at first and second. That's not calculated to make manager Billy Meyer relish his approaching dinner this evening. Pittsburgh bullpen is now going to go to work. A little stirring around down in the left field corner. Hermansky, who singled in the first inning, 3 for 6 this year. Left-hand batter, outfield around, into right, infield is up on the left side. There's a ground ball down to third. Up with it is Fernandez, throws to second base. They get 1. The throw to first base is not in time to get Hermansky. Campanella slowed up Fernandez' play just a moment. Roy, in running over, you know, he was a runner at seconds toward third. When he got close to Fernandez, he just stopped. In other words, he tempted Fernandez just for a moment to tag him. Forrest Main, a right-hander, warming up in the bullpen now for Pittsburgh. So you have a force at second, the third baseman to the second baseman, that's all. Hermansky on at first to the fourth. Campanella on the fielder's choice, moving over to third. And the batter is Snyder. It's 2-0, favor the Pirates. Snyder hitting .307. Swings and golfs the ball into right field for a base hit. Here is Campanella in to score Brooklyn's first run. Hermansky on his way around the third and goes in after the extra base. And when the throw goes through the third base, Snyder takes the extra base, going in the second. So the Dodgers running, taking the extra bases. They got 2 extra bases there in that one sequence. Hermansky going from first to third. And when the throw went through to third base, Snyder went on to second. First base is open. Robinson's the hitter. It's a 2-1 game now. And the joint is thoroughly aroused here at Brooklyn. Queen delivers, and Robbie hits the curve down the third. Fernandez up with it. The throw goes to first base in time by a step, and Robinson's out, and the inning is over. So the Dodgers pick up a run. They cashed one of the 2 walks. One hit Snyder driving it in. For the Duke, that was the 12th run that he's driven in this year. Well, Connie Desmond's going to come over and take the play-by-play for us on our post-serial broadcast. the next 3 innings. But before he does, and you folks around the country, if you want to listen and join in, fine. This is aimed primarily, though, at our folks in New York City. But any of you that want to pay any attention to it, just great. You know, the problems of a city are terrifying, especially those for kids that are born in families that just haven't got the money to send them to summer camps and to private schools and take them around places. And when you put your mind to it, what does a city kid do in the summertime? It's not a pleasant answer. Somebody's got to help, and especially those fellows down there on the lower fringes. Somebody's got to help. And I don't know any better job anywhere on the face of the earth than the job that is done by the New York Police Athletic League. It's a tremendous job. It's a lot of extra work for the New York Police Department, but that's really when you get to thinking about law enforcement. When you got your policemen trying to see to it that you do not have lawbreakers. Boy, that's it. So how about sending some dough? The PAL needs $1 million to continue and expand its work. So send some money to the PAL at Police Headquarters, New York 13, New York. That's a simple address. Police Athletic League, New York 13, New York. Okay, Desmond.
Wally Westlake leading off, top half of the 4th inning. 2-1 affair. Bankhead down this pitch, curve on the inside corner for a strike. Ray Mueller cracked a home run with Murtaugh aboard for the 2 Pirate tallies. The Dodgers cashed in one of the 2 walks given up by Melv Queen. Snotter whacking it in to make it 2-1 Pittsburgh. Overhand pitch swung on and popped up. Meekly back from second base. There's Robinson shielding his eyes from the sun and takes it for the out. There's not so much of the sun out, but it's trying to duck through, and it sort of leaves a glare. Very difficult for these infielders and outfielders to go after these big, high pop flies. 1 out. Up there now is young Dale Coogan, who struck out on an inside curveball right off his fist the last time up. Batting at 136. Just a baby. Bankhead down with an overhand fastball, missing outside. Dan, with the exception of the 1 pitch that he made to Mueller, has been working very nicely to spots. He's been throwing off the edges. Right side backed up a bit. Left-hand hitter up. Takes a high outside hard one for ball 2. Bill Posdell, the old pitcher, coaching down at first base, and Goldie Holt, former minor league manager, last at Beaumont, is at third base. Outfielder swung around into right field. Count ball 2. Dale Coogan, second man up, swings on the pitch and misses. Ball 2, strike 1. Coogan will be followed by Murtaugh. Dale steps out for a moment. Pirates lead by the score of 2-1 here in the top half of the 4th inning. Bankhead ready to rear back, comes out with another one, and there's a bunt pushed up along the third baseline. Cox up with a throws to first, not in time. And Coogan outlegs a bunt single up towards third base. Cox made the play very nicely, but he was caught back there deep. Although he got the ball over, it was about a half a step too late. Coogan lays in with a bunt single. Hit number 5 off Bankhead. And here is Murtaugh, who doubled just inside third base. First time up. Got his double with 2 out, and then Mueller lost one back in the left field seats. Dan off to a fine start, batting at 292. Coogan out at first base. Hodges holding the bag against him. 1 out. Pirates lead 2-1. Bankhead checks at first, then pitches to the plate to Murtaugh. It's outside. The throw to first, not in time, as Coogan went diving back with a hand. Very little wind. Bankhead now, ready for his pitch again, turns and throws to first base. The Chicago Cubs, with a run in the top half of the 6th inning, have now tied the ball game with the Phillies. They're even at 2 runs each. Simmons against Bob Rush. Rush certainly is off with a rush. He's won 4 without a setback. Simmons, a tough potato to deal with, has a 4-1 record. So 2 of the league's best. And there goes Coogan. The pitch taken at the plate. The throw on to Robbie at second base is in time. Robinson had the ball waiting for him, and Coogan went into what was almost a half slide. I don't think he knew what he wanted to do, whether to get down or stay up. Anyway, the throw was there, and young Dale is cut down on an attempted steal. pitch, as we told you, was outside for ball 2. So 2 out now in the top half of the 4th inning. Murtaugh up there with the count his way, and Mueller is on deck. He's the lad that bumped the home run. Bankhead now can go back to his full pumping motion. Base is empty. Down with a fastball inside for ball 1. I think there's a big constellation over into LaGuardia. The Flatbush range station for LaGuardia is right around here. That's why you have a lot of air activity. Now the 3-0 pitch to Murtaugh, and it is over for a strike. Gus Donatelli is back of the plate, calling balls and strikes. Veteran Lou Jorda down back of third base, and young Frank Descoli at first base. Bankhead sets to deliver 3-1, does, and it's high inside for ball 4, so on to first base goes Murtaugh, second time he's been on. Bankhead gives up his first walk. So here's a fellow that slapped him for the home run, Ray Mueller. Batting at 167. That was his second hit of the year, but it was good for 2 runs. Mueller, when he was a member of the Cincinnati club, used to hit very well in this ballpark. So Ray steps up. Base on balls to Murtaugh. 2 out. The score, 2-1, favor the Pirates. Post serials, sending it all your way. Bankhead down, an overhand fastball swung on and lifted high out towards left. Under it is Hermansky waiting. Down it comes, and Gene takes it for the out. On the top half of the 4th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no Dodger errors, and 1 man left on. Okay, Red.
Well, Connie, I've been struck wherever I've gone by the tremendous interest there is in the Brooklyn Dodgers all over the country.
Oh, boy, and we have something for the people who are interested in them, too.
That's right. Now, all of you folks who would like to know a little bit more about how this famous Brooklyn farm system works, you can find out on pages 8 and 9 of our new 1950 Dodger yearbook. Also, you'll find out all kinds of fascinating facts about the Dodgers on the other pages of this big baseball book that the Post Serial folks are offering you right now. You'll see colorful action pictures, just bales of statistics showing the records and the record makers, and feature stories about the players and about the ball club that you won't find anywhere else. And to get your copy of the new 1950 Dodger yearbook, simply mail the box top from any Post Serial or the front panel from a Sugar Crisp bag plus a quarter to Dodger Yearbook, Box 79, Brooklyn 1, New York. Now, be sure that you order it this very weekend here. Now, this is the same book that sells in the ballpark here for 50 cents, but it's yours for only 25 cents, and the box top from any Post Serial, or else the front panel of a Sugar Crisp bag. And that address again is Dodger Yearbook, Box 79, Brooklyn 1, New York. Now, send for it today here, and include your own name and address, otherwise we can't send it to you.
Kyle Furillo leading off last of the 4th inning. Takes his sidearm curveball outside, ball 1. Queen has walked a couple. Got himself in a jam there in the 3rd inning, and the Dodgers nicked him for a run as Snyder blasted one into right field for a run-producing single. Furillo takes a sharp hook this time on the corner for a strike. Queen, a veteran of the Yankee farm system. He made a lot of stops. He was at Newark and Kansas City before they brought him up to the varsity over at the stadium. Big 200-pounder, now the fastball inside. Ball 2. Queen was born at Maxwell, Pennsylvania, one of the coal regions of that great state, but now makes his home out in sunny California, Woodbridge. 6-footer, 200 pounds. Ball 2, strike 1 the count on Furillo. Kyle cuts him. It's a fly ball. Back of third base. It may be trouble. Coogan goes back, but it lands untouched in the Dodger bullpen. Wally Westlake, the right fielder, Murtaugh, the second baseman, and young Dale Coogan were all chasing that one. Just a strike as Furillo comes back up towards home plate. So Furillo steps in again, examining his stick, finds it all right. Just Donatelli, calling balls and strikes, pulls his mask on. Then here we go again. In case you just joined our post-serial broadcast, we're in the last of the 4th inning. Pirates leading the Dodgers 2-1. First of a doubleheader. There's a base knock, hit right back through the middle. Tommy Saffel out there in center field fields the ball and gets it back into Murtaugh at second base. So Furillo puts the tying run on, bouncing a single back through the box and brings up Gil Hodges. The big fellow from Indiana, hitting at .293. He looked at call strike 3 his last time up there. So the base hit arouses things around Ebbets Field here. Furillo on with a tying run. Queen now must go to his stop position. And these are the places the balks are called. The throw to first not in time. Al Barley called 3 balks on Max Lanier the other day here. Another lob throw to first. No dice. Hodges has 27 base hits. Big, strong right-hand batter. The pitch to him is up high for ball 1. Braves got a tally on the Cardinals. They lead 1-0 at the end of 2. Outfield deep and around into left field here on Big Gil. Queen sends a curve up high and outside, ball 2. Forrest Main was up throwing for the Pirates in the last inning, and looks like he's going to get up again down there. Furillo at first base. Dale Coogan guarding the bag against him. Queen now with a check over at first. Pitches to the plate, swung on, and a fly ball is hit out into left field. Over for it comes Saffel, the center fielder, and Kiner then goes in for the catch. You have to wait the way these outfielders have been playing today. Hermansky and Snyder bumped together out there. And Castellone got himself a double, leading the ball game off. Kiner taking that high fly ball. Billy Cox playing fine ball down at third base. Hitting at .250, 6 for 24. Furillo at first base, 1 out. Pittsburgh 2, Brooklyn 1. Billy swings and cuts this one foul, going down in the right field seats way near the bullpen. Bangs up against the wall down there and then kicks into the stands. Long, loud strike. Jake Fittler coaching at first base. Milton Stock around at third. Campanella out on deck. Billy Cox the batter with Furillo with a tying run out at first base. Queen comes to his stop position now. Checks first. Throws into Cox, who swings and lifts a high foul back of the plate. Here comes Mueller, still chasing it, but he can't get it. It's on the screen. Ray went right back up against the barrier. Strike 2. Young Bobby Morgan, who was the most valuable player in the international loop last year, also the batting king, started at third base for the Dodgers this year. For those of you who may not be too well acquainted, and Billy Cox finally was sent in there to give Morgan a rest, and Billy's been in there playing every game. In fact, young Morgan is sitting on the top step right now near the water cooler, watching Cox up there with that bat. Strike 2 against him. Queen comes in with a curveball outside for ball 1. Ball 1, strike 2. Cardinals got a run in the top half of the third inning, so they stand even with Boston at the end of 3.5. Straightaway outfield on Cox. He sprays his hits to all fields. Likes to hit into right. Throw to first, and Furillo goes back with a hand stab at the bag. He got there. Descoli right over for the call. Ball 1, strike 2 on Billy. Queen is tossed over about 4 or 5 times trying to catch Furillo off. He's down with a big, long, tempting lead. And he draws another throw, and back he goes. Makes it kind of tough on Pittler coaching over there at first base. Carl with these long leads. Ball 1, strike 2. Furillo down again. Now the pitch into Cox. Curveball outside. Ball 2. Ground around front of both dugouts and back of home plate. Still rather soggy from the bad weather we've been having around New York. That outfield a little tricky, too, in spots. Now the 2-2 pitch, swung on. There's a fly ball hit deep back into left field. Saffel goes way, way back for it. Still going. Reaches high up in the air, and the ball is off the fence. There goes Furillo into third base, and they hold him up as Cox doubles off the left center field wall. Just about 3 or 4 more feet, and that one would have been in for a case of Sugar Crisp. But Saffel reached up high, got his mitt on it, couldn't hold it, and the ball bounced out. Connor went over, retrieved, and got it back in. It's a double for Cox, his third of the year. And Furillo, who had a hold up, waiting to see whether or not the ball would be caught or not, made it to third. And Campanella is going to be put on to load him up. First base is open. And they'll take their chances with Bankhead banging into a double play. So there's the first one, and the fans don't particularly care about the intentional pass. They never do to one of their favorites. Walk number 3 by Queen. Now the sun comes out brightly. Still some dark clouds up over the left field stands. Could mean rain. There's ball 4. Campanella trots down to first base to load him up, and here comes Dan Bankhead. Out to try to help his own cause. As a batter, he's 1 for 9, hitting at 111. We told you that the Cubs in Philadelphia tied at 2 runs, and they just received word that Jim Constanti has come in to pitch for Philadelphia in the 7th inning. He's our number 1 relief man. So Bankhead up with the bags loaded. Furillo down at third base. Billy Cox at second. Campanella is at first, and they're playing their infield halfway in. Coogan is up in front of the runner at first base. Here's a pitch, and it's outside, ball 1. Coogan is ready to charge in, along with Fernandez, the third baseman, in case the Dodgers might want to work the squeeze here. 1 out, they could. Furillo, a fast man, on at third. Here's the pitch coming down, swung on and trickled out along the third baseline and allowed to roll foul. Foul. Furillo's already ducked in the dugout. He's called back. He wasn't going to turn around and look to see whether or not it was fair or foul. Cox moves back to second base and Campanella to first. It'll trickle foul, not along the third baseline. So it's a 1-1 count. Bankhead trying to at least get himself even here. Pittsburgh 2 and the Dodgers 1. Last half of the 4th inning. Forrest Main showing back of Mel Queen down in the bullpen. Here's Mel's full pumping motion. The pitch swung out and missed. Chased the curve, strike 2. Pee Wee Reese is on deck. Furillo down at third, Cox at second, Campanella at first. Now Coogan plays back of Campanella at first base, and the rest of the inner defense takes a couple of steps back too. Pitch swung on and bounced down to shortstop. Over to Murtaugh for 1. The throw to first is in time. And Reese doesn't like the call on that. Throws his bat long, kicks at the dirt. And Fiddler is out there talking to Descoli along with Robinson too, and there's Duke Snyder getting in on the act. Also Reese now is going out to talk too. Here comes Milton Stock, and a rhubarb is on at Ebbets Field. Bang bang play to complete a double play. And the Dodgers are steaming. Score that 6-4 to 3 if you're putting them down. And it's the 24th double play for Pittsburgh. Well, they're still hooting and hollering. Descoli goes walking down the right field line to get out of the way of it. And now Pitler comes running back into the dugout. It was a bang-banger over there at first base to complete the double play. Well, we'll check our post-serial scoreboard here for you. Chicago and Philadelphia. Rush started against Simmons, Constanti in the 7th. It's a 2-2 tie with the Cubs at bat on the top of the 7th. First of a doubleheader, Cincinnati at New York. It is 3-0 in favor of the Giants at the end of 6.5. St. Louis, Boston with Burkini against Spahn. 3-1 in favor of the Braves at the end of 4 innings. In the American League, New York at Chicago. Sanford against Mickey Hefner. 1-0 New York at the end of 4 innings. The Boston Red Sox lead Cleveland 3-2 at the end of 2.5. Philadelphia is at Detroit, and Washington is at St. Louis. Well, Bruce Edwards has come out to tune up Bankhead. He'll be taking a little time, so it'll be a chance for us to pause for station identification.